All right. So, as I was saying, Mr. Choice, I meant to say that it makes sense that you have your SOP ready, but the truth of the matter is the SOP is not. It's so. Now, let me not complicate this. You don't need it yet at this level,
Okay.
except that you have identified a school that has told you that, oh, we've got funding for you. We want you to now apply. Since we have not gotten to that point where we have a good list, a good number of schools that you have meaningfully, that you've had meaningful conversations with and are ready to now consider your application. It is easier to submit application than it is to get a department blessing.
Okay.
And usually a lot of people go ahead and submit their application without getting a department blessing. Now, when you submit an application without doing the letter of introduction thing that gets you to connect with real human beings, what you get as response, usually at the end of the day, when you don't connect, is websites giving you admission decision. I don't know if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So the reason why I said that, it's not like I'm trying to say, oh, the people should throw their statement of purpose away. No, I have no right whatsoever to even say that. But I'm just concerned about us prospecting. You see, everything like, welcome sis, this your hair. Hey, oh yeah, now I want to join the gang, go like, let's Rastafarian, unconventionalize the whole thing. I think that's trending now. I'm sorry. I just have to acknowledge the hairdo. I like it in a very, very interesting way. It's so like, I can't forget the look. I can't forget the look. That kind of
It's
hairstyle that makes you remember a face. Maybe that's the hairstyle I would do. I don't know yet. I want people to remember my face.
it's the heat period, so it's
I
just the
know,
hair
I
that.
know, I know. So as I was
Yeah.
saying,
Thank
the
you.
statement of purpose is important. But you know why one should not exert so much energy on building a statement of purpose now? I want someone to say why.
Why is
Why?
it?
Good. Now
Why?
the reason is because you need to make sure that, one, you are sure of the department you will submit an application to. When you're sure of the department, that is when you should actually now build a statement of purpose for that program. The statement of purpose is something, it's not an essay you will build offhand. It is an essay you will craft using information coming from the school's website, especially their goals as far as research or teaching or academic goal is concerned, or the objective of that program or the university. Will you be able to craft that if you do not have the blessing of the department? Or does it make sense to go ahead and start writing several SOPs when, as a matter of fact, you have not clarified whether that program has funding? It's easier for them to give you admission because even though schools have funding, they do not fund everybody. They like money now. So you who gets admission, like, they are so happy that they are willing to admit you because the meaning is you're telling them that you can afford to come without paying. Because not everybody reaches out to the department and start telling them, I want to apply, I want to do this, I want you to let me, who can I work with, who can I talk to? Not everybody does that. But people who do that, they already know by default that those people are interested in funding. And if you're interested in funding, you will then, if you reach out to 30 schools, I always say this, by the end of the day, some emails will not be responded. Some emails will be responded, they will tell you there's partial funding. Some will tell you they don't have an advisor working on your area. Others will tell you that, yes, we are ready, we have funding, you can come in the fall, or you can apply you can submit now and get funded for this fall, which is this year, or submit now and get funding decision by fall to resume in the spring. Did I communicate that well?
Yeah.
So these are the different things that would happen in the process. But if we fail to, how do I explain this part now? If we then fail to what? Reach out to them early enough, the purpose of your application and your statement of purpose is defeated. Because one, if I mention somebody's name in a statement of purpose and say, I would like to work with Professor Robert Dan Diamond or Dayton, I'm just assuming someone has that name. Now, the person, do you know what happens when they are deciding on those they will admit? They all sit together. They look at the documents, the statement of purpose, the resume, the this, the that, and then they're like, okay, did this person get to reach out to you? Now, let me now throw the question to us. You did not reach out, you now submit application. If you were to pick somebody, who are you most likely to pick, Mr. Choice? Let me start from Mr. Choice.
Of course, the person that reached out.
The person who what? I want everybody to answer now.
The person that had reached out.
The person who reached out.
The person that reached out, yes.
Exactly. So I don't think we need to stress ourselves about, TOEFL, GRE, IELTS, let me go and write exam, let me go and pay the money. The result might even waste, God forbid. I'm not saying, and then people will say, let me go and get my passport. Those are later things. It is when a department says, we're ready to work with you. It's not like they will say they are ready for you, or they will say, don't worry, we'll give you funding. But from their body language, you will know. If you want to sell to somebody and the person wants to buy, even if the person does not have cash in hand, do you know you can tell if the person is interested in what you want to sell or not? Without the person even saying, I want to buy. A suya man is positioned somewhere. You are looking, you're doing your mouth like this. The suya man already knows, come and take suya. Auntie, the suya is sweet because of the way you're looking. So if you were facing the other side of the road, the suya man might not necessarily say, do you want suya? So the body language is what we're looking out for here. So now let me bring this home. I don't want to, this is not a clarity call. This is supposed to be specific. And I think I've addressed that concern. My goal today was to review the essays of those who have been joining from the beginning of the month. And today is the last day of the free coaching call. From next month, we would continue on WhatsApp from the beginning of the week to the end of the week. Now, from the beginning, what am I saying? Like I'm confusing myself. From next month, we will continue because next Sunday is next month. But we're not going to be coming on Zoom every weekend, except there are people in the group who subscribe to the monthly Zoom meeting, which is 5,000 naira. And then they say, okay, we want to meet on Zoom, maybe for their essay review privately. But as a group, we will continue to meet on the group. You can jump into the group anytime and post your question. Whenever I'm awake or whenever I see your message, you know I'm very responsive as much as I can. I would come there and respond with a voice note. So you are not under pressure to what? I believe that this is the stage. You know, when they say, okay, I've been teaching you how to wear pants all these days. This is the time to now carry the pants, wear it yourself, and run to the garden. So for those who have joined thus far, what I'm saying in simple English is, I think, I might be incorrect, I think that I've supported people here well enough as far as what they need to do right now. We're not dissolving the group or anything, but I'm just saying that we will not meet on Zoom next week or the week to come. because the first month was to set some things straight, which we have done this month. Now, the things that we have done this month or that we've talked about have also been incorporated in your book or in everybody's book, you know, for those who have pre-ordered the book, you know, and I'm going to be making these books available by the grace of God on the 31st of this month, which is Wednesday. Now, do you know what you will do that will make me happy? I'll be happy if when you receive copies of your book, you don't drop, we don't break this ginger, as in we don't break this vibe, we don't break the energy. If we are able to commit to what, doing the work that we do, there is nothing stopping us from getting the result. I mean, doing the work that we need to do, there's nothing stopping us from getting the result that we need to get. So now I would like people to ask questions. But before you ask questions, I want to say something, if you will permit me. So what I'm going to say, I want to ask your honest opinion. I'm talking to those who have joined thus far. Would you say that us meeting on Zoom is more effective than, no, would you, oh God, English, English. Would you agree to us continue, do you think we should continue to meet weekly on Zoom? Or do you think we should continue to meet weekly on WhatsApp? Which one do you think will be more effective? And then those who now want the Zoom session at the end of every month can now pay 5,000 monthly. Now, if you pay your membership fee, which everybody has to pay, which is 1,000 naira, what you need to pay to join the Zoom meeting is just 5,000 naira. But if you don't want the Zoom meeting, it is not compulsory. But my question here is, if we all think that the Zoom meeting will be more effective than the WhatsApp weekly meeting, I'd like to have feedback right now so that we can balance it and look for a way to accommodate everybody, so that even if we don't meet weekly on as a group on Zoom weekly, even if we don't meet as a group on Zoom on a weekly basis, if we believe that it is working for us, we can work something out. So let me hear from us. What do we think? Because I'm going to actually remove some people from our group, whether they pay or not. They will collect their book and waka pass. And the reason is because some people are not, like, you will push them. Even Christ said that we will separate the shafts from the what? The what? Please, the
Wheat.
pastors in the house.
The shaft from the wheat.
Exactly. Some people, no matter the ginger, the energy, the vibe, the humor, the gbogbo, me, that when I live here now, I might start having headache. They will not worry about me. I am worried, like I'm thinking 247 about, I wish this person can work hard. Someone sent me a message today and said he has plenty meetings. And do you know what this person will come and do later? When he's now ready, he will now send me DM and say, hey, he has started working now. Do you think that is a sustainable way to go? Like, by the time you are reaching out and is another task I'm supposed to focus on. So I feel that we should deliberate so that we know the way forward as a group. Should we continue with this Zoom thing? Should we adjust the time or the day? Because I'm also concerned about Mr. Bode, Mr. Barry, and some other new people who just joined. You know, they will need all the clarity that they can get also, because some of the things that I've explained over and over to some of us who have been opportune to join earlier, they have not been opportune to hear me repeat those things, and I'm so sorry for that. So let's hear. I don't want Mr. Bode and Mr. Barry to talk first. I want the old people in the house to they are like the elders. Elders, oh yeah, please, what do you think? Should we continue WhatsApp weekly? And for those who now want Zoom, can then request for Zoom, maybe to review their essay privately, or we as a group want to continue on Zoom. What are we agreeing to? Let's talk. All the questions you are posting, ma, you will still ask me by mouth too. Once we are done with this parts, all the questions you are posting, you will still use your mouth to ask me, because it is your faces I'm looking at. I hardly look at the chats. So I've seen like Madam Banke has posted about 3-4 questions. I'm not sure. But from what I'm seeing, they are just entering back to back. Maybe she's trying to pour her mind out so that she does not forget, I'm assuming. So please bear those questions in mind. When we answer this question that I just put out, we can take personal questions, and then I would like to also engage with Mr. Podia and Mr. Barry. Please, I would like us to talk. Oh, please don't just keep quiet. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Choice, please, who are like, this is a democratic something. Some people are not talking. Someone just DM'd me privately saying the Zoom meeting could be monthly or fortnightly. Somebody should borrow me English. So what's the meaning of fortnightly? Bi-weekly?
Yeah, every 2 weeks.
Okay, that's bi-weekly. Why the WhatsApp meeting could go weekly? That's still something, so that we don't quench the well, we're not quenching the fire, because if we're engaging weekly on WhatsApp, it's still something. But I think this makes sense. What do we think? Other thoughts?
I think the weekly meeting should be fine, and then monthly Zoom meetings.
Okay, weekly meeting on WhatsApp. So are we going to continue now? Are we going to pick a day when we would meet on WhatsApp, or should we leave it should we open it freely, as in when people have questions, or at any time they can post on the group and get feedback?
Yes, it should be when you have issues to be tackled or you have questions to be clarified on, then you come to the WhatsApp, you post it, and then when you see it, you can respond. Or better still, you want to discuss a general topic with us, you can still invite us to and then fix your date. We can, participate along with you.
In the what?
On
Repeat that.
WhatsApp. On WhatsApp. I mean, on WhatsApp.
Okay. There's something here from the Zoom meeting. Does it have to be monthly, or when one has a pile of tasks or questions, then one can? No, it doesn't have to be monthly. So now let me clarify. So this is my plan. This is what I was thinking from next month, that everybody renews their membership on WhatsApp with 1,000 naira. That's just the flat rate. And now the Zoom meeting is on request. So for instance, now there's something I want to do for the group, and there's something that I can do for individuals. So if you want to review essays, okay, you have to subscribe for the monthly Zoom session. Does that make sense? But if you're not reviewing your essay, now that's for the individual now, but as a group, I can still afford to make myself available, if not weekly now or bi-weekly. I'm trying to see whether I can make myself available to tackle questions bi-weekly or monthly. So I'm thinking that if we're going to be having an active WhatsApp platform, there might be no need to meet bi-weekly on Zoom, and I can do that monthly Zoom session for free for the house. I cannot do the monthly Zoom session for free for the house 2 times in a month. I'm sorry, but I can afford to do the monthly Zoom session for free for the house once a month. The reason why I did this weekly was because we lost steam. I wanted to bring the food to the boiling point. Now that we have brought it to the boiling point, if the food burn, now what? If it is soggy, I will be so hungry. If you know done well, self, I go mad though. So, but my point exactly is I can still do the monthly Zoom quick Q&A, basically once a month. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yes, yes,
We can
absolutely.
jump into the WhatsApp group at any time to post our question. But when you post in the midnight and you are looking at your phone and saying, when will she come online? Will it work? People should thank God that my husband is not even here. If we are doing other business, we are not doing other business.
Thank God is not there.
I'm still the only one here. That's why you are seeing me all the time. By the time my face will be scarce. So my point is, we can do you can jump into the group at any time. And I believe that we're all smart people. We're all scholars. I might not, let me put it this way, I don't know everything. And it is possible that someone might take the leadership to answer questions when I'm not there. I won't frown at that, especially if somebody who is asking the question is a newbie. So for those of you who have been mentored thus far, I mean, you are supposed to handhold other people who are new and who are posting questions in the group, because we are going to be in different parts of the world. And I believe that it makes sense for us to build that relationship and not build connection with me alone, just because, oh, she's going to give us value. Everybody in the group is capable of giving value. Some people will buy what you're selling. Some people are business owners. Some people will help you get your transcripts edited. Some may even be therapists for you. So people in this group will be of value to you one way or the other. I'm just saying that we should not, we should make do with I think we should kind of use this opportunity to connect with everyone or as many people as possible. So yes, I would do the Zoom meeting for free monthly as a group. Now, for anyone who wants to review essay, they would have to pay for the private session to review their essay. And that is 5,000 Naira monthly. So if you want to continue to be on the group, don't worry, it is just 1,000 Naira, ridiculously cheap. Secondly, I am going to be meeting us as a group on Zoom for free every month. If you post your question and I'm not awake, don't panic, relax. I'm still going to come back and respond, because one of the skills we would all learn, or some of us are learning already, is patience. Because the people you are sending emails to, they are in different time zone, they might not respond. So let me get this important information off my head before I answer, Oh, Mr. Luashion, is that hand deliberately up?
Yes, now.
No. I'm so sorry. Please hold on. I would answer questions. Okay, is it a question or a comment?
Is it all inclusive?
Hold on. I'm getting to that Q&A part. Let me make this important point. The important point I want to talk about is like a secret that I want to share with us. And that secret is the summer is going to start. And the summer is starting from next month. No, from first week in May. Or by the end of April, most professors would be, it's not like they will stop being busy, but the back-to-back of taking classes or taking lectures would have subsided, and they would pay closer attention to their emails. It's just like someone who has a phone and is working in maybe in a field. The person is not likely to be able to check his or her phone all the time. But when the person comes back from the field, the person is relaxed and, hey, who messaged me? Who sent me a chat? And then the person is able to now read and respond. So I am trying to encourage us that we should strategically position our emails and make sure that we have identified, by the time the book is out, use the whole of April to mark out as many schools as possible from the hack book and the other ones that you will be able to come up with using some of the strategies that have been listed in the book. When you do this, make sure that you create a long list of schools and begin to connect with them. The emails might bounce. Do you know the reason why you need to do all of this in April? Because from May, they will be breathing. And when they are breathing, they are still workaholics. And they are likely going to be checking their emails better than they used to, or more than they used to. And when they are checking emails more, or more, the meaning is that they are not likely going to miss some of the emails that some of us have even sent before. I don't know if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, I know that we all have questions. So let me take Mr. Oluwaseun first, then we have other people.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Please, I'm calling because this is my first meeting.
I know, we know.
And now that you said you have taught a lot of people the over and over again, and we are just coming in and you are canceling it. Kai.
Did you hear what I said? Did
You
we
said-
cancel it?
So it's now a premium, except for.
I did not say it's premium. Or did we say it's premium, everybody?
Remote control.
Not at all.
Let me let you land. Let me not interrupt. Please keep
Okay.
speaking.
So what I was asking, what my question is, when get a school that is offering our course, are we to first get in touch with the lecturer, the course advisor and all those people first, or we are supposed to send in our application? And
I
then,
think, okay, one,
then
two, I'm listening.
the letters, that our killer letter, is it when we are submitting or when we are reaching out to the professor? Thank you.
Okay. It's okay that you're asking a question that we have treated before. It's not a problem. So let me clarify something. Now, everybody here pre-ordered a book, not a coaching program. Do we all agree?
Yes.
Yes.
This is just an
Yes.
extra offer so that the work is less
Bonus.
stressful and less strenuous, less complicated, more support. Because in the past, I have sold books, I have sold master classes, and people would just lose steam. After the session, everybody would just be doing blue, 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 blue. And then I said, okay, my desire, like your money would do nothing for me more than your testimony would do more for me than your money.
Absolutely.
So if you pay me $1,000, like I'm going to spend all the money, like I want to buy the latest iPhone and it is $1,000. So if you give me $1,000, I buy latest iPhone, will I not maintain it? Will I not have other needs? I'm just trying to say that the money that you pay, either for the book or whatever, doesn't even make sense to me as much as you getting your results. And so I realized that the way to now make sure that people get their results on time, or as many who would follow through, because I need to clarify that not everybody might get this done depending on how much effort they put into it. So I just thought to myself that creating a support group was going to work. Nobody here reached out to me for a support group. I thought it's wise. And so we started from the first week in March, the first Sunday, and we've been doing it. Now, some of the questions you're asking are the questions that people have asked repeatedly. And let me clarify that new people were joining every week. So like those who were there first week, who come second week might not have question. It might be those who joined that second week that would have question. Some people joined last week. This week, they don't have question. You are joining this week. This week, you are asking the same question they have asked. So the good thing is, one, you get a chance to, I would answer your question now, 2, you still have the WhatsApp group. It is not premium. It's 1,000 naira premium. Is
No.
it?
Not at all.
I didn't want this to be like, well, she wanted to sell to us. That was why she gave us value. That's it. I didn't want it to look like all my life is only selling that I'm selling. I said, okay, because what if I do Soleno? What do I mean by Soleno? Some people want to start making me feel like you don't know more than to sell. You will sell every time, even in your sleep. You want to sell? I say, okay, even Jesus Christ kept talking. Abi, he kept speaking. Me, this is my ministry. I have to talk. So I wanted to make sure that see, it is possible to share all the strategies to people for free. But you know what you pay for, whether big money, small money, or 1,000, and you value, because a part of you tells you that, I have made an investment, and you're pushed to want to get results because you know that your 500 naira, 1,000 naira, 2,000, 10,000, 15,000 is hard-earned money. Like in the US, do you know that a cent, people like you can be in a place like 1 cent will mess you up. 1 cent like this can mess one up. So where was I? So I wanted to take a bus, and initially the bus has been free all the while. But this last time I went to the bus station, I wanted to go to another part of the town that is very far, and it is expensive to go there by car, by charter or Uber, or Taxify like kind of arrangement. So I wanted to go by bus. I got there, they said I should pay how much? $1. How much is $1? But the $1 wanted to mess me up because I didn't have it. And when I went to use my ATM, I withdrew $20. I came back to the bus the second hour because I did the first hour. When I came back, I wanted to get in. Guess what? The lady said, I want $1, not $20. Like, I was like, well, don't you have change? In my mind, I was like, don't you have change? Like, what if I frustrate life for me? She was just, and then she was just looking at me. I don't want to mention the complexion. She was just looking at me. I was like, Abele Fema low RACISM for me. Kini now. In my mind, I was like, what's going on here? In reality, that is how it is everywhere. So like they wanted me to commit to paying something small. But that money was going to be like big deal because where I was going to was very important. So what is the purpose of my epistle so that I don't waste our time? The 1,000 naira is just to be on the group. Not just to be on the group, but for me to be able to know that yes, these people are ready to be in this group. And Mr. Sheung, I would be answering our questions on the group anytime we come in. I'll be answering our questions on the group anytime we come in. Mr. What other thing do I want to say? And I'm going to be having the Zoom meeting by the end of this month for free. So there's still going to be a monthly Zoom meeting by the end of the month. The only thing that I said is not free is private essay review. Did you get that part? The only thing that I said is not free is private essay review, Mr. Sheung. So it's not even premium. I mean, if you, and meanwhile, the private essay review, I'm not going to be doing you for you alone. It will only be for the few people who probably want to review their essay for that month. Do you know what I sold to those who had joined earlier? That they should bring their essay to this group so that I can review for them for free before the end of this month. Only one person submitted to my email. I'm not blaming those who have not submitted. I'm just saying that some have lost that chance to get me to review their LOI for free. But there is even nothing to worry about. One of the reasons why I delayed bringing out the book was to be able to know what people are thinking, to address concerns, and to update the ideas in the book. Interestingly, from what we've deliberated on in the last 3 weeks, all of that have gone into like all of that have been recognized in one way or the other in the book, especially the significant issues that we have touched on. So there is no worry here. You don't need me in the next 4 weeks. What you need is the book, and the book is coming out on Wednesday. So if I release the book and you don't do anything, Olori ìyá mi máa jà o. My mother, like what I'm saying is my in Igbo they call it
Okay.
what do they call it in Igbo? Can you remind
Okay.
me?
I
Do you know what I'm
I don't
talking
know.
about? Okay, let me say it in a way that you would remember. Have you read The Joys of Motherhood?
No.
Okay, like destiny. What is destiny?
In Igbo. Akalaka.
Not that one. There's a common expression. Like oh my God, I simply just forgot. You know what? Something we call Ori, like fate, Fate. Don't worry, let's not turn it to an English class. Once I remember, I'll post it on the group.
Yes.
So any other question before I review Mr. Sheyi's essay? When I'm reviewing Mr. Sheyi's essay, you can use the feedback to learn a few things too. So please let me hear from other people who have questions. Any question? No question. Okay, Mr. Barry, do you have a question? I'm calling on Mr. Barry because he's new. Don't send me private messages, please. I beg us, speak for your for your girl, listen it.
Good evening.
Please, I don't want people sending me private messages. Someone just did. Okay, good evening. After him, Madam Banke, yeah?
Okay, thank you for the invite. Though this is my first time of joining this particular session.
I know.
So thank you for the invite. The other time you asked me to mute. So I had what's it called background noise coming from my generator. So I'm quite sorry for that.
It's fine. It's fine.
So for the WhatsApp group, I think the WhatsApp group will be fine. Likewise, the the monthly Zoom free free group. Then the so-called premium, if I may say. So it's also fine by me, so that we can review together. Then I will implore the seniors, our seniors on the group,
elders,
take us along and carry us along as well.
Yeah.
So because though I'm still waiting for the book to learn some things before I will start making my own little contribution. So kudos to you and to the members on the group. So we look forward to helping ourselves.
Absolutely, sir. I'm going to share some information when we get off this meeting. And I'm going to be doing that based on a question that I'm going to ask everyone. What course do you want to apply for? What is your interest? I just want to do some quick recap with those set of questions. And then I would address everybody one by one before we get off. So before we do that, let me take Madam Banke's question.
Good evening, Mrs. Bisola. Good evening, everybody.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you have messaged me left, right, and center.
I didn't have. Okay, so based on last week's assignment, I started out immediately. I set to work. I went to University of Calgary.
Calgary. Okay.
And I went to the department that I was interested in, checked out their programs. So on the webpage of the faculty, I saw accepting students for some of the lecturers there. I saw currently unavailable, and I saw accepting inquiries.
So what's the question?
So my question is, what do these accepting students mean? Is it that they have funding, they are ready to accept me as their student to supervise me? Then
Okay.
the second thing I also wanted to ask is, in the first step towards applying for scholarship, what should be the first thing to do? To get a host supervisor who is willing to accept me to come over there, or to get the scholarship? Which should be first? Then thirdly, I saw
Hey, calm down, mommy, calm down.
lẹ́yìn náà lẹ́ni ká béèrè question.
Okay, Emma Sorrow, now keep talking. First question is, okay, go on, then I'll try and recap.
Then talking about applying to more than one program in a single school.
What did
Also
you say?
that. Applying to more than one program within a single school.
Okay, what does that mean, Abi?
Yes, no, I understand what it means. I'm just telling you that I took action on those things that
Okay,
you
that I mentioned. Okay.
Yes, but where I got a little bit talk is what I want to ask the question about. That now the what's it called now? The essay has to change depending on that program, and
Yes.
I'm wondering that how does one come up with something that will not take one out of one comfort zone if you are going to another program that is entirely different from what one is doing?
Okay. Is that all?
That'll be all for now.
For now, for this meeting, yo. Okay, let me take the first one. The meaning of accepting, not accepting. First, if they are not accepting, it means that they are probably not accepting, but that does not mean that they will never accept. That they are accepting means that they are actively taking students, as in they are. Now, the kind of scholarship that we're talking about, I'm answering one of your other questions. The kind of scholarship here is assistantship based. And why is it called assistantship based? Because it is the department that makes the funding available most times, or in this case. And when the department makes funding available, more like they're employing you, or you are going to be schooling and taking courses and taking classes in their department and pursuing a degree. They are paying you for working your brain to learn. And as you're learning, your brain will be, your head go they swell with knowledge. And as you increase in knowledge, not wisdom in this case, as you increase in academic knowledge, you will be useful to them, either in the lab, if it is a lab-based work, in paper writing, if it is like research or publication based, in teaching, if it is teaching. Now, I said lab, teaching, research, because it is possible that you do all three. It is possible that you do two. The two that is universal are research and teaching. Lab, like in my case, well, we have lab in my area, but it is forensic lab. It is not what we know as lab, but there's still lab in the humanities. But it's not like, like in the science where you say, okay, more lab. If I tell somebody I'm in a lab, they'll be, have you crossed? Do you understand? Because what we know or what we think, what comes to mind when we think of the word lab is different from what comes to mind for other people in the science when they think of the word lab. So the next question is, I'm forgetting. No, I've answered the one on the. Now let me clarify that even if a professor or on the website of the professor, there's something that says not accepting, it does not mean that you should not reach out. The person might probably not be accepting for that fall. The person might be accepting for the spring of the following year. You do not even know when that information was put up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, let's also now guide against the idea of emailing back to back 100 people, one department. Kilo shele. What happened? Don't email plenty people in one department. This is what we should do. There are 2 people we must write to compulsorily. No, start with 1. Number 1, If it is an undergraduate program, identify the departmental chair. Hello? Departmental chair. What you would have wanted to write to a prospective advisor, write it there and send to the departmental chair. But you know that you might be mentioning the names of people that are not, of other people who is not receiving the email. So you need to clarify and say that you have identified so and so and so on the website, and you have included their name in that email for undergraduate. Now, for graduate level, you will still you will still have to email the departmental chair. When you email the departmental chair can now redirect you to, even at both levels. No, let's do it this way. Undergraduates strictly focus on emailing the departmental chair. You can be routed from the departmental chair to the right persons or the potential advisor based on the names that you have mentioned, okay? Now, the other thing is for the graduate level, you can email the departmental chair as well as the potential advisor you have identified. Don't email more than 2 advisors if you must in one department, in addition to the departmental chair. If I were you, I would rather email one person, because at the end of the day, there's no hard and fast rule. Why? Because by the time you reach out to the graduate director, who usually would route you to the departmental chair. So rather than go through the graduate director, go through the departmental chair. Or rather than go through undergraduate director, go straight to the departmental chair. Send the email to the departmental chair. It is when it is not, you're not getting feedback, that you should now email the departmental undergraduate or graduate director. Why? Because their job is to always take note of emails from people who are interested in their program. So they will check their emails more because it is one of their duties as far as that work is concerned. So if they see an email that reads letter of introduction, if of course the HOD does not respond, the undergraduates or graduate directors are under obligation to respond. Why? Because they need to get that feedback. They need to keep up with that work so that people can be interested in their program. So don't email more than 2 potential advisors. If you have clarified that, you don't necessarily have to email the departmental chair. But the reason why you should is because you want to be in the good book of the departmental chair. That's like the person who makes the decision even when everybody sits before they say who is coming to our school. So you want to be in the person's good book, okay? And by being in the person's good book, you can email the person first, and then even tell the person to connect you with those you have identified. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's a better way to go about it, because that works for me. And I'm telling you what worked for me. You know, that really works for me. It did work. It did work. I'm thinking if there's anything you said that I've not mentioned. I might not remember everything, but again, the essence of these videos is not for decoration, to be decorating Facebook with like, share, emoji. The essence is for us to go back in case we forget anything, because I mean, I'm not sure we're all writing, but the essence of recording is for us to be able to watch replay if we ever forget. If we come to the WhatsApp group, I expect that the kind of questions that we should ask are questions that we have never dealt with or that we didn't deal with sufficiently. If somebody comes to the group and asks this type of question again, what should we do to the person? Well, some people will forget, so we'll not do any,
The person,
we'll not do
forgive
any,
the person.
we'll forgive the person, because some people, we're not all the same. Oh, someone, You see, I don't like to be distracted. Someone was sending me a private DM and that distracted me. So what next? Is there any other question here? As an undergraduate student, I was involved. Okay, I'm coming, sir. I was involved in research into blah, 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 blah. That may result in individuals are exposed to. I don't know what this means.
That's one of the essay I sent to one of the professors.
That's too short, though. Don't see. Can I say something? Let's not be in a hurry to email them. It's better to do it right. If you are delaying by 1 week, as in if, for instance, when you get the book and that's like a week delay from last week, it's better than sending an email that is just, too short or not too thick or not too emotional. The idea is we're selling and we must come up with the one of the best crafted, essay. I just remembered your last question. How do we then replicate the same template? And then how do we really resolve the confusion of applying for more than one course? If there are 5 universities that are responding, or no, let's even leave that are responding. Let's say you got tired of doing a long list and you want to just focus on a few. Don't focus on one, but you want to focus on a few set of schools. I would say that if you see more than one program, if you identify 2 or 3 or 4 different programs in different departments, not the same college, in different colleges. Psychology has certain things that connect to social work. Social work has certain things that connect to communication. These 3 departments, one is in the College of Science, College of Arts and Science. Another one is in the College of Communication. Another one is in the College of Social Work. You know that these 3 places, they can't clash. Are they parallel lines, or what are we going to call them? They can never meet. And because they can,
lines that do not meet.
Good. And because they can never meet, good. You can shoot your emails and apply to them differently, even though they are in the same university. That's one way to go about it, so that we don't have a situation, because guide against emailing plenty advisors in one department, guide against applying to more than one department in one college, especially if the college works as a group. In communication now, all the departments work together, even though they have different departmental head. Now, do you know that the Department of Communication Studies cannot admit you, and then the Department of Advertising and Public Relations will admit you in one college? Can both of them admit you? Will you go to both? Both of them cannot admit you because funding decision is made at the college level. I'm not saying that it is the college that disburses fund, but if a college is working as a group as in they are not 2 apart. Communication, everything works together. Social work, everything works together. Maybe College of Medicine, everything works together. But there are some colleges where.
Sorry.
Hold on.
When you say college,
talking.
do you mean faculty?
Talking. Yeah,
Sorry.
college. No, not. Well, we call it faculty. Yes. So, did you get that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So college is faculty. So, I don't do well with distraction. Like, I lost what I was trying to explain.
You were saying that sending the same.
So I think I've clarified the college thing and the faculty thing. And I said that if a college is not the same, I don't know the word to use. So let me see if I can share a screen to make this really practical, so that you know that there are colleges where every department there is in sync, like they are connected. And there are some colleges where not all the departments are connected. So like the College of Arts and Science in some schools would have the Department of Women's Studies, will have the Department of Ancient Languages. You know, they are not the same. They are not connected.
Yes.
But here
Yes.
where I am, there's the College of Communication, and there's the Department of Communication Studies, book publishing or something, advertising, blah, blah, blah. All of these are similar, they are interconnected. So it is not even wise to apply to different departments in that particular college. Every university has colleges or schools. In some places, you say the School of Social Work, the School of Communication. Now, this school is like a faculty of arts, faculty of technology. They are called colleges or schools, and your program is called a major. If you now want to combine another program with that program, that one that you are combining is the minor. What other words do I want to explain? I think I'm good. I'm done. Let's take the last next set of Mr. Choice.
Mention something about the host advisor first, host supervisor first. Getting a host supervisor first before the scholarship application.
I already clarified that you are not applying to any separate scholarship. What you're applying for is assistantship based. And if you apply, if you connect with an advisor, the decision is made at the departmental level. So when you are given an offer letter, you're given an offer letter with funding. And that funding is the position, is the scholarship here that comes with assistantship and the school fees or tuition waiver that you will get. So there's no difference. Let me take another question.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Choice, please, I'm listening. It's 4 already, and we're running out of time.
Please go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm done talking. I want to take your question.
I think my question is already answered. That's what I mean.
So what was it?
I was going to ask the question. I think Madam Banke asked.
She has packed all the questions in the house. Like the spirits brought it to her. Okay.
But I actually observed some universities in the UK will even encourage you to even apply for 3 courses.
Yeah, okay, like 3 courses. I don't understand what you mean.
Like in the same faculty or college, like you say, or school. So, for example, in my own field, they can encourage you to apply for maybe an MSc in management, another one in international business, another one in entrepreneurship, and then they can make you an offer from any of the 3.
Any of the 3, exactly. So, and I think, yeah, thank you for that input. And if you apply that strategy, even if you are not, if you get tired and you say, well, I cannot come and kill myself. Let me just focus on the books, the schools in the hack book, and then I'll apply to those ones. You can use this strategy to wipe like the memory, wipe all the memory clean. I don't know if that makes sense. So by saying wipe all the memory clean, milk as many departments or as many universities as you can in the book. Because if you find one school, that does not, what should come to your mind shouldn't be one program. As many programs that you can apply for should come to your mind. Because if they don't have good funding in one, they will have good funding in another. So take, for instance, some ladies came in, they came in when I came in, and they got funding though, but they want to do their PhD in my department or in my college, maybe when they want to start their PhD. I'm just sharing this so that we know that. Do you know one thing I also want us to do? I don't want us to be like other people who would focus alone on Ivy League schools. I want to go to Ivy League school. That's my target. But you know, today someone was asking me what would really make us happy in life. But let me not become philosophical. That's just me. That's my own thought. I'm still going to deal with that. But my point is, let's not be in that position where we say, if Tombamu means school, you only law school in me. Like if they don't admit me in this school, I'm not going to apply to another one. Or I would select some schools. My friends are there. They say they in the QS ranking says, oh, University of Sussex is the best for development studies. If you apply to Sussex and Sussex says there's no funding and there is another one that has funding, go to that second class school. The cocoa is to leave first. When you leave first, do well. Let me share this with you. This book was given to me as a gift, and it was given to me as a gift at our first ever inclusive academic conference. And the person was sharing she just gave me yesterday, like more like the Holy Spirit just led me to read a part of the book. And then it talks about universities and job mobility. Please, if you're not too busy, or if our ears are not busy or our minds are not busy, let me read something to us. Let me read something to us. So it's not like I'm just the one picking what I'm saying in my head. Mobility between different types of universities. Because the tracking system here is less rigid, it is possible to move from a 2-year community college to an outstanding 4-year university. In fact, California and many other states. Now, take note, this is not a book for USA because you hear California now, so you don't think that it is a USA alone. The person wrote it for people going to North American schools. And the second point says, like now, California and many other states require their public universities to accept community college graduates. Likewise, highly selective graduate and professional schools regularly admit top undergraduates from universities that are less well known and less highly regarded. What matters is that these students show real promise, grade, merit, excellence. These are the different words for promise here. Not promise, name will promise you, it's not sister promise. They have strong grades, outstanding recommendations, and top test scores. In this case, the test score will be your CGPA or the first semester from that school that you are transferring from. A lady is joining my department this fall. She's transferring from a university somewhere in the States and coming to where I am. This mobility is especially important for international students. I know many who began their education here at less competitive, please mark that phrase, less competitive schools, such as a local branch of a large state university. They might not have gotten into the best schools at first, or they might not have been able to pay for them, or they might not have even heard about them. No matter, you can always transfer to a more competitive, intellectually challenging school in a year or two if your work here is first rate. I did not write that too. And I'm not sure the book is downloadable online. I would have said, let us go and Google it. But as more as I keep reading and I keep getting insight from the book, and I pray that God just brings it to my head so that I'm able to say it when it should make sense. So I think I've done enough. Now, if nobody says thank you, I say, girl, you've done a great job. But my great job will be in the doing. So if there is any other question, let's take that quickly, and then we can just end the meeting.
You have not answered my question.
What was your question? Two people are talking. Who is talking first? Madam, what are you saying, Madam Banke?
You said you were going to review Mr. Sheyi's essay.
Yeah, that's the last thing. Okay, great. Mr. Shell. Mr. Shew, I'm here.
That's my question.
Can you remind me again? Can you remind me? Can you remind me? Can you remind me? Mr. Shiontilo. Hello?
Maybe the network is bad.
Okay, is there anyone who can remember his question specifically? Can you remind us the question, Mr. Shio? I hope there's no other question in the chats. Doctor, I know. Do I know her? Maybe I might not know her, so let me not jump. There are plenty doctor I know all over Nigeria.
No, it's in my short essay.
Yeah, I saw it.
Someone in my short essay.
Okay, so Mr. Sheung, are you there? Okay, he's writing. Applying to school or the lecturer. Now, it's not applying that comes first. I'm so sorry. I think I always refer to that in somehow in my talk. Yeah,
Hello.
yeah. So I'm answering the question now, and the answer is, it is not applying that comes first. Mr. Choice asked something similar. Should we be working on our SOP? Don't work on your SOP. Okay? The most important thing to work on right now is your letter of introduction and
Hello.
finding school. Are you talking to me?
No, I said hello, hi.
And finding the schools with assistantship. Oh yeah, LOI, thank you. So you need to work on your LOI or letter of introduction. And what do you need to do right now? So as we're getting off this meeting, go and ask yourself, what is my academic interests? No, what is my application story? I posted 3 videos on our private group just to refresh our memory as far as what an application story is. Go over those videos while you're waiting for the book. I don't want to waste so much time on that. Right now, after watching the video, the book will be out by Wednesday. When you have the book, don't jump to the section where the schools are listed. If I were you, I would take it from the beginning, because no man is an island, because I'm still going to be able to pick insights. And you would avoid so much back and forth if you go in a very organized manner. So when you go in an organized manner, the next thing you want to do is what Mr. Sheyi has done, which is to craft a letter of introduction that we're going to be reviewing as a sample. So when you write one letter of introduction, it is a template that you can modify to be able to write to other schools, because the first paragraph of your LOI, the last paragraph of your LOI are the same thing. What changes in all the LOI you will write is the second and the third paragraph. So I say that the LOI typically should have 4 short paragraphs. These 4 short paragraphs is not something you will type and paste as a document. You're going to be typing it on a Word doc or save on Google Drive so you don't lose your files. And you will copy that message after you have edited it and paste it in the email section as an inbox, like as a message in the inbox. What you will attach, if you don't have your transcript right now.
Like composing.
Yeah, what you would composing exactly. So the only thing you're going to be attaching is your transcripts, sample of academic writing, if some area requires that, a sample proposal, if your area requires that. See, let's even leave all of that. You know why? Because a lot of times they won't open all the documents in your email. They are too busy to, like, it is when they are interested that they now reach out and reply your email, and then they say, can they talk more, even further? Because by the time you are now even submitting your application, some things might even change in your content, because if you share ideas, eventually things will change, especially in the sciences. So I remember that there was a scholar who recently reached out to a school, attached all the Gbogbo documents, didn't have transcripts. They gave feedback. They were interested. So what they're actually waiting for from the scholar right now is transcripts, so that the scholar can send in an official application. So I want to look at, I hope I've been able to address Mr. Shion's question. Did I? Okay, thank you, sir. So I want to, oh, no, this is not where I should come. Okay, but no worries. Let's use this, please. I have less than 10 minutes more to get out of here. Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Wahoo, Oshe, and we lay. People should not be scared though. You write your own. So I'm going to open his own, and then I'm going to open one of my templates to compare. Remember that when I was writing, I wasn't a pro like this. So, LOI. Interestingly, let me tell you something again that I think might make sense for those who will find it useful. Even if you reach out to a school and you eventually do not get admitted there and you go to another school, don't close the communication with those schools or that advisor. You might need that advisor for other things, even when you get to that country. Because there is a particular professor that, okay. That I had to maintain, and that I've been in touch with even after getting here, even though I didn't attend their school. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead, sir. Who is speaking?
Just what you just said right now, that we should not close the communication between schools that do not accept us or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The schools I applied to some years back, though I got feedback from them sending me their brochure and their application form self, but can I check on them now? Maybe I can follow through this process to get maybe what I needed now.
You can. Now, you need to be assured that they have information on funding on their website.
Okay.
That is what should guide you. Not that they say they give scholarships. Do they offer assistantships? Because that's the quickest way to actually get in. Scholarships are good because when you get in, you will still apply for scholarships. I mean, extra money here and there.
Yes.
Did I answer that question? I like to explain too much, but I don't want to explain too much so that we can really do this.
Yeah.
But have I answered that question?
Yes, exactly. You have answered it. I understand. I will just go through it. I'll go through the schools. And I sent a message on the group chat just now.
Please tell me what's there. I'm not reading the group chat.
On the Zoom platform just now.
So what's in the message?
Is it possible to boycott masters and apply for PhD? Because I read in the news somebody did that. And
Yes, I think I've already mentioned that you can apply for a PhD directly. Even if you're coming from undergraduate, you can go straight to a PhD.
Okay.
But you still take courses, because the difference between masters and PhD is that maybe you're just doing courses and then you're not doing thesis. Or at PhD level, you take courses and then you then write the thesis or complete, go the professional route or do internship. Sorry, or professional route or thesis option, or depending on the school, but these are the two options at the PhD level. So yes, simply in simple English, yes, you can go from master's to PhD. Oh, sorry, you can go from first degree to a PhD program.
Okay.
And for the undergraduates in the house, the process is still the same, which is you have to reach out first, more like all that we have been talking about. So let us look at his sample. So in the original, like when you're sending this originally, this is how it should be to the school, but you will not put the name, Institute of these, Arizona, you won't put all of that. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
This is how
I
I would
included
have,
that so you will know the school I'm applying.
okay. So you see, I'll be going from
I just included that so you will have
I
idea of the
understand.
school.
I understand. I will go from this tab to the other tab so that you people can look through and compare what is the same, what is missing. So it is a blah, 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 blah to blah, 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 blah. I graduated from where with a CGPA of in what? The University of Ibadan, graduated as the best school, blah, blah, blah. In 2016, I returned. I didn't even put my CGPA there. So, but in the updated version, you are supposed to put the CGPA, just like Mr. Sheyi did. And how do you arrive at this conversion? It is already stated in the book how you would do this. You just need to do that online, and the link to that website has been provided. Who is giving us that echo? So now let me just explain. The first paragraph is introduction. You are just introducing yourself, where you studied, what you finished with, and you talk a little bit, blow your trumpet a little, like, did you win a recent award? Were you recognized anywhere? Did you do anything significant? It does not have to just be academic. Include all that very briefly in the first paragraph. So, second paragraph, tell us about your application story here. This is where your application story is supposed to reflect, where you're stating personally, where did this interest come from? I developed interest in this as a young architect. All I ever wanted from architecture, design function, concept analysis was more knowledge and understanding of calculation of building spaces. This is where his own interest starts from, but I think it's lengthy, sir. Make it very short. The first sentence, tell us very briefly where your interest started from. In the second sentence, tell us why you are not yet fulfilled and you want to know more. Tell us why you are not the only one that is not fulfilled and that there are other people who are facing that particular situation, or is there a particular problem you want to solve with that knowledge as an architect that you can also put to use, that you believe that other people have identified as a problem, that you believe that with the training you're going to be getting, you will be able to fill that space or that void. Now, please bear in mind that you need to look at the fact that this personal story that you are crafting, does it have anything to do with what the advisor is doing? It doesn't have to do it doesn't have to have everything to do completely with what the advisor works on, but it should have at least something similar to what the advisor is doing now or has done before or is an ongoing project. But all of that information you'll find on the webpage. So when we're done with this, we can see how that works out. If you go to the YouTube channel, you find some videos that we've created before. Like I said, this is getting too long here, the storyline. So good, this your story that you brought here, design leading to the death of your father, you can bring it up, which is, I developed great interest in interior design after I lost my father. Because that's, I think for me, that's more intriguing. Really? How come? Tell me more. Like, I want to read more. Please, if that is crafted that way, is there anybody here who will not want to read more? Is there?
No,
No.
I would
There's
like
no
to read more.
You want to
Yes.
read more because, wow. What's the comparison between losing somebody and
The
architecture?
connection and architecture.
Exactly. So you want to now look at, okay, does it have anything to do with urban planning, how houses are built, ventilation? Because people choke anyhow. People would just be, and do you know that this is really an interesting area? Because now, after you have now mentioned the motivation behind it, after you lost your father, the explanation in the middle has to be summarized. After the explanation, now take us to the fact that, are there statistics, very briefly, like just one sentence to tell us that this is a communal problem? So how do you defend that it is a communal-based problem? To defend that, tell us there the statistics that show that people actually die because of poor urban planning. But it has to be as simple as possible, exactly the way you painted the picture of the loss of your dad because of this problem. Paint that same picture with statistics. You have given us emotion. Now we're interested in reading. But we'll forget that emotion as we read along, because that was what drew us in, but that will not sustain us. So we now want to see the statistics, and I want you to end in a way that is so smart, which is connected to the SDG, which I have seen here already. And so I see that you even included statistics. See, I'm sure I'm not the only one resting, and I don't want you to put me so rest in peace. Please remove it. So let me read this second paragraph. I developed great interest in interior design as an architect, as a young child. No, at a very young age, my interest in interior design increased after I lost my dad, or I developed great interest in this when I lost my father. Before my father passed on, we lived in, paint a picture of where you were. Like, tell us the situational experience or the situation or the events that led to his death that then prompted you to want to study that degree. So, you know, you have used that death to draw us in. You would use the information about where you lived. That's an example, like explain, that's explanation. Facts, state the facts, which you have done. Figures, as far as what actually happens when urban planning does not take place. I don't know if this is making sense. Is it making sense? So when you're done
Yes, it
with that,
is.
the last thing you want to include is, how does this PC connect to the G? The personal, the communal, how does it connect to the G, the global story? The global now is there any sustainable development goal that you see your work aligning with as far as the SDG is concerned? So this has been a pattern in my country where adults are killed. All of this you will summarize and put up, and then you then come back here. Oh God.
Sorry.
Then you come down and then put the information on. the SDG. Don't mention plenty SDG. If I were you, I would just mention SDG goal number so, which focuses on this. But now when you mention the SDG, tell us the specific targets, because SDG has different targets. Sustainable cities. Which one is sustainable cities? You need now, I don't know the SDG that I want you to focus on one, because we're not writing the SOP yet. So I want you to pick the closest to your work and then look out for the targets within the SDG. So this is how to look up the SDG. It's already in the book. I shouldn't even be doing this. You are wearing the baby diaper. You are still holding the diaper on the baby's waist. Don't this African women approach will not let people rest. If you look up the SDG, no, sorry, wrong place. You look up the targets for that particular SDG. So I think this is your goal. Does it have anything to do with this? Hello?
I think sustaining cities and communities.
Okay. So you look at the targets. Look at the target. Huh?
The target is on housing and urban.
So now, at least you have an idea of how to get here.
Yes.
Or maybe you have done, did you include it? No.
No.
So you need to include that target. When you're done with that, you're done with your own second paragraph. Now take note that this second paragraph will change for another school if it is another course. So you need to come up with a different personal, communal, and global story for every new interest. Does that sync? The next paragraph is the paragraph where you are connecting your personal, communal story with your research preparedness and the interest. You have told us about your PCG. Don't tell us about it again. The third paragraph, simply tell us about your academic preparedness. What courses did you take before? Have you written any paper before? Have you worked with an organization before? Whatever it is that you have done before, that shows a connection that the blind can see between your PCG and that point about your research preparedness. Then link that research preparedness with what the professor is working on. Just like, you see, he has identified so and so in, as potential advisors. It's okay to mention more than one person. Okay? And tell us clearly what you find interesting about what that advisor is working on, that you feel that you do not know, and that can make the difference in your interests or in the research, that you want to focus on. When I use the word research, when I use the word research, I'm not saying research as in, oh, you wear Google, you wear lab coats. That is just the word that is used. It can, and this is also applicable to the undergraduates in the house. And in the last paragraph, okay, you need to state concerns just like he has done. Now, you say you've never taken courses in interior design. You need to now emphasize very well some of the things that you have done and the achievements you have recorded and the achievements you have design. So for instance, somebody else concern might be age. I'm not a recent graduate. It's a limitation, yes, but then shine lights on the other things that you have done that are like achievements. I want to end this session now. It is already 1 hour, 40 minutes. Are we good?
Hello, ma.
Okay. The most important thing, we
Hello?
have an idea of how this works. And I think I've touched on one of the most important questions that Mr. Sheung would have wanted me to address. I've done that sufficiently. And this is a sample
Hello,
of
ma.
my own. Yeah, are you talking?
Yes.
Okay.
Please, you made mention of some videos on private groups the other time. So
Yeah,
I
this
don't
same
know,
group,
maybe
this same
WhatsApp
group,
groups.
it will be reposted. Please, any member
Okay.
of the group, just repost the videos.
All right.
Hello, old members, please just repost the videos. They are still on the group. So they are just supposed to repost it for new members. So I guess we're good. Even though I don't want to hear any other question, but I will still ask any other question. It's just courtesy. I'm not saying you should shut your mouth if you have a final question, but again, I believe that there is no question. So
I believe the question is, Wednesday is the due day to get our books in the inbox, right?
now you're not getting it in the inbox, but you would have access to it forever and ever. So we're working to make sure that people don't make our content go viral. You know, Nigerians, we're too nice. When one person buy a book, the entire family tree will read it. And that is not good for our business. It's not sustainable. So we want to make sure that people who are pre-ordered only get to access the book.
Okay.
But definitely you would continue to have access to the book.
That's good.
Because in the past, people would just be downloading, be sharing and sharing. Do you know some people will be using it to do Father Christmas? They want everybody to be telling them, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, don't mention. I got the information, don't mention. Somebody that has done the sleepless night. Me that I almost lost this updated file. I almost cried last week. I was like, God, the way you my Buddha was son. I couldn't find the file, like I was trying to make a lot of adjustments. So don't mind me. I'm just trying to make sure that it looks a little bit enticing, pictures, graphics, and at least we've seen it. So there's nothing to say, but I just want to use the rest of this week and the weekend and the first 2 days in the week to wrap up. So if you keep this, I would appreciate if no one would disturb me between the next 2 days. I would appreciate. I'm not saying don't reach out on the group, but I would want people on the group who have insights as far as questions that new members may want to ask. I would encourage you to hold them by the hand, because I would try to discipline myself by not switching my phone for too long so that I can get certain things done. So I want to ask a final question. It is just one word from each person. Don't tell us, don't give a speech, just give a word. And the word is, what course, if you add your way, what course would you want to apply to and why? One short sentence. There's a reason I'm asking. What course would you want to apply to and why? Mr. Sheyi, number one. I'm listening, no.
Interior design.
Why?
And why?
I can't hear.
I'm into building construction at the moment.
Can others mute?
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Maybe it's your mic, is the mic. Maybe you can type. The next person, you can type your own response, Mr. Barry, quickly. It doesn't have to be a sad
Hello?
story. It doesn't
Hello?
have to be a sad, sorry, someone is typing, someone said something in the chat box. It doesn't have to be a sad story. That's just an example. But it definitely has to be a problem. Like, what's the idea of research? Research is not to, there must be a problem that is disturbing, that gets people to conduct research. So like, if everybody is happy, then why are we doing research? I think I answered that indirect question from Mr. Shiv. So Mr. Elijah, please post your response in the chat. Mr. Barry, please respond now, and then others can follow suit. I'm listening. No, there's a reason I'm trying
Hello?
to do this. I'm listening. I can hear you, sir. If you're having difficulty using the mic, you can just type it so that I can read it and then take my notes and go. Are you still with us, Mr. Barry?
Yes.
Keep speaking.
Are you with me?
Yes, I am.
Oh. Yes, I am. Okay. I would like to take a course regarding educational management.
Okay. Why?
Because that is what my community here lacks. Because I am from one remote area of Oyo State, Okeogun, aspect of Oyo State. Axis, rather.
They lack? In simple English.
Okay. Quality education.
Okay. But you need to make that. Okay, I got that, but you need to develop that.
Okay.
Because ko tap to ko wole, like nobody ella o wole ko wole o. That one didn't enter. You know, choke. That one did not choke. It really has to choke. Okay, another person has responded. That makes sense. She has a very clear, clearly, stated objective for our interests. Madam Banke, you're next. Or Mr. Choice. I think Madam Banke has left us. Mr. Choice, or maybe
I'm not left, so I'm here.
Oh yeah, tell us your most, like, what is at least you know what we're saying. Let me not repeat.
What I'm interested in is how to deploy technology in biosciences.
Does it not okay, why?
Because here, being backward in terms of the use of technology to solve
Please
problems.
don't use the word like backward to describe our motherland.
No, I'm just here, but I'm not going to use it. I don't
Even
know.
at the embassy, I'm just saying that phrases like that has a way of putting them off and saying, well, this person is not patriotic. So go on, ma.
Okay, so we really need to come to a point where we use technology to solve problems in scientific research, such that we are not always using the same old method and expecting different results, given the issues we have in the health sector.
What issue are you interested in? Mention one issue that you want to use biological science technology to solve. Mention one.
Like, for example, rapid diagnostic testing kits. When people have for malaria, for example, people need to, we use rapid diagnostic testing kits to check for the malaria parasites in human blood. and this is invasive. It is also very stressful. Basically, I'm looking at telemedicine such that people can access just pretty much like what Uber is doing. I've not really fine-tuned it, but
I know. That's
yeah.
why I wanted to hear so that I know where everybody belongs to. Go and fine-tune it. Go watch those videos, perfect your thoughts, structure it well, let it
Yes.
sink. If it comes from a personal place, the better. You need to look at, okay, is there anything in your life, whether personally, situational, or relational? Personal, did it happen to you? Situational, did it happen in a place? Did you see it happen? Or relational, did it happen to somebody? So these are the three key words in your personal story. Personal or relational, personal or relational or situational. As far as the first part of your application story is concerned, you need to think about it. Someone might be interested in police brutality, having witnessed the EndSARS protest. That is not necessarily personal, it's situational. And the person can draw an interest area from that experience. I think there are only two people or three, Mr. Bode, then Mr. Choice. Mr. Bode. Mr. Bode is not with us. So. Mr. Choice.
Okay, mine is MSc in entrepreneurship.
Okay. Why?
Why? Because I want to contribute to the entrepreneurship body of knowledge and development in my country and across my continent.
No, that didn't kill it for me. What is the unique problem that you want to solve if you go ahead and study that degree?
I'm going to come back to my country to teach entrepreneurship because entrepreneurship education is really, really lacking.
So now, you should be able to clearly state a problem that you have seen that confirms to you that entrepreneurship education is lacking. There's a difference between saying, see, people are suffering in my country, and really saying that suffering, okay, let me say, somebody says, I want to change the world. What exactly do you want to do in changing the world? What unique problem do you want to solve? That is what I'm just getting to. So entrepreneurship education is lacking. What aspects of entrepreneurship education, or what exactly do you mean by entrepreneurship education being in lack, or not being available, or not so available? Or well, let me leave all the English, so I cannot come and keep
I think
myself.
what I've observed over the years is that most of what we call entrepreneurship education is basically theory. There's
Okay.
the practical, experiential aspect of it is lacking. So I'm thinking of having advanced knowledge in that area.
Where did that interest come from? Personal, relational, or situational?
I think I'll say situational. Is what I've observed, in the society here.
By situational, I'm not referring to communal. By situational, I'm saying you have experienced it, but not that it happened to you.
Okay.
So you need to clarify that and say, okay, you worked in an organization, and then you also saw that, just like someone who is interested in health communication in workplace, maybe the person was working in a place where their employers were not taking the health of their staff seriously, and then they will sack them whenever they say they have a headache. I don't know, I'm just saying that person's story there is situational. It didn't happen to the person, but the person witnessed or saw it happen. So you need to clarify that. And again, don't limit yourself to that one course. If there are other areas that you're interested in, the idea is to craft or state specifically what you want to do. Bank, okay. I cannot read long posts. I say write one sentence. This one is an epistle already. Kilo shele. Who else has not spoken? Mr. Sheyi, I think you're good. We know what you're doing. From what I've read, I have an idea. Architecture. You were the first person to speak, Gonsef. Okay, sorry, I told you to write it. Don't mind me.
Yeah. The network.
Yeah, I just remembered. Mr. Sheon, I think I'd talked to Mr. Sheon already. Madam Beatrice. She's here,
I
but
don't
the
mind.
network.
Okay, sorry, I don't mind getting a course on romance. So any course I get, I go for it.
Any?
I saw in university.
Somebody's
The course
looking
on
like
romance.
romance.
I don't mind
Okay.
going
Romance.
any course I get.
No, somebody's tooth is looking like romance.
Browsing to this one, I saw romance. I say, I like this one. If they'll give me now, I'll go.
In fact, funny enough, there's a guy who he got a free version of my book. He applied last year and he was lucky to get a PhD in UA. PhD. He's an undergraduate. He just finished his service and he's coming to do PhD. So yes, PhD is possible from undergraduate. And again, the thing is, intentionality is very important. This whole thing that we are talking about is something that we can get result from in 30, 60 days. If you do a 60-day challenge and say, okay, I am going to be intentional, and by the end of the 31st of May, I want to be able to say there are 5 schools that I want to apply to. So I can achieve my, okay, makes sense. Now, you need to now tell us, where did that interest of becoming a world-class graphics designer, where did it come from? What is the personal story behind it? And you know, like many people who are into entrepreneurship in Nigeria, just like Madam Ogaga is saying, Mr. Olufolau, please, if you're sharing important posts here, no, you don't have to write it now. That's just my feedback to you, Mr. Shell. So, Mr. Choice, someone just gave you feedback. Please read the chat. If you offered feedback to anybody, please make sure you post it on the group so that they can read and, you know, implement. I really would appreciate if if we can do that. I have 2 last caveats to state. My first caveat is, we have clarified that the Zoom session will now hold monthly. We have also agreed as a team, and I'm going to copy everybody via email, and you would respond by saying, I accept. So the first thing we agreed on is, 1, we would meet monthly Zoom free session. In the WhatsApp group, you would drop your question, post your question by typing, and I would respond under your question with a detailed voice note, or I will make my voice note as detailed as possible. The most important caveats, and this is the point where I know those who are for me and those who are against me. If you still want to continue to be in that group and get support, whether free or paid, you need to agree to share your testimony when you eventually get this. If you are the type that we hide the glory of God, please, this is the time to collect your book and waka pass. I hope I said that well.
Yes, you did.
If you feel that after you if you want to get support and you will not be willing to share your testimony, this is the point where you say, sorry, just give me my book and I'm done. If you agreed, let me see the hands up. Just post that hand emoji. Let's see those who have agreed so that I know those who I'm writing emails to. This is not a threat, but this is just to say that what is the point in the hard work if at the end of the day, I can't be a part of your success story and we cannot use your success story or your short video or a screenshot of your testimony to inspire other people. I've had people who have gotten opportunities, and when I reach out and say, do you mind sharing your feedback? They'll say, sorry, I'm not going to do that. Some people are not raising their hands, oh, you better raise it before I assume that you are not with us. If you are with us on that motion, let me see your hand emoji. If you are struggling to find where the hand emoji is, better find it now. Okay, if you can't find the hand emoji, just type in the chat box, I agree, I support the motion, please, because it will be my joy to celebrate us than for you people to now get it and then you now lock up. Don't lock up for me, oh. Don't lock up for me, please. Okay, great, thank you. Madam Beatrice has responded. Who has not responded? Mr. Sheyi, we cannot see your hand. Is Mr. Sheyi for us or against us? Okay, great. So I believe that, I think we lost him network. I would reach out to him privately. So moving on, if you want to join the group from the 1st of April, all you need to do is pay 1,000 Naira to renew membership on the group, and that will be all. Thank you so much for being here. I will repost the videos. I will send an email to everyone. Once the book is released, I know those who are on the support group, so I will send an email telling you what the group rule will be and getting your consent in written form. And of course, I'll be expecting your renewal in order to be a part of the group. Have a wonderful day, evening, and have a great week. Bye.